What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you the next episode in the countdown of the top 100 artists of all time, as voted by you guys. We're getting into the 70s now, starting at number 80, and we're going to be counting down through number 76 on this episode. So let's get right to it. At number 80, Cat Stevens, otherwise known now as Yusuf Islam. Man, this guy really should be higher on the list. I mean, as far as folk singer-songwriters go from the 70s era, he is just up there as one of the greatest. I mean, come on. Songs like Wild World, Father and Son, The Wind. It's just so many beautiful songs that really stand the test of time. If I had to pick my favorite album from him, it would be tough, but T for the Tillerman, I think, is his best overall record. I mean, starting out with the song Where Did the Children Play, and just every song on there is a classic. But Teaser and the Firecat would be a close second, which came out the year after. I mean, the dude was on a roll in the early 70s, and you know, he's still out there doing his thing. Kind of did a revamped version of T for the Tillerman this past year, which was pretty cool. It had totally different versions of the original songs, and it's just good to see him still doing his thing. And like I said, he should have been higher on this list, but glad to see that he made it. So now at number 79, Elvis Costello. Another great artist. I'm glad to see him on here. I'm not as big a fan as I am of Cat Stevens, for example, but definitely super talented. And again, someone who's still out there doing his thing, but started out in the 70s and late 70s. But and that really, I think, was his best time. I mean, my favorite record by him is This Year's Model from 1978, with songs like Pump It Up and Radio, which had more of like a new wave punk rock edge to it back then. But he's been all over the map musically. Great singer-songwriter. Songs later in his career, like Veronica, are really catchy and cool. And then stuff that he did with the New Basement tapes a few years back was really awesome as well. So the guy can do anything, and he's got one of the most, you know his voice immediately when you hear it, and just a great singer, songwriter, and artist that everyone can definitely agree he should be on this list. So that's at 79. Now at number 78, Roxy Music, which is a band that I've never really gotten into myself. I mean, of course, I'm familiar with some of their big songs like More Than This off of their last album, Avalon, which was, I believe, in 1982. They started out in the early 70s. Brian Ferry, the lead vocalist, and the rest of the band. Actually, Brian Eno was a part of this band for the first few years. One of the first things that he was doing musically before he went on his own as a producer and collaborator. But definitely this is a band where even if I'm not that into them, or maybe I just haven't found my entry point yet, you can see where different bands have been influenced by them. You hear it all the time. Bands like Duran Duran and even Radiohead cite them as influences, and you can definitely see it. I mean, they had that kind of alternative kind of, they seemed a little ahead of their time in a way. Love is the Drug is a really cool song that I think you can definitely hear that influence on some of the bands that would come later in the 80s. And that song actually is really got a cool vibe to it. So that is number 78. Now at number 77. Whitney Houston. I mean, come on. One of the greatest vocalists of all time. period. I mean, where do you start? I mean, songs like I Want to Dance with Somebody, which is just so fun and upbeat. It'd be hard to pick a favorite record. I mean, you can't really go wrong with her debut, which is just self-titled, Whitney Houston. So many great tracks on that one record alone. But then later in her career, you know, of course, the big one, the cover of I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton was huge. But for me, I almost, that was from the Bodyguard soundtrack. I would go with the Preacher's Wife soundtrack because some of the gospel songs that she has on that record are just mind-blowing. The heights that she gets to, like songs like I Love the Lord and Joy, which just makes you feel instant joy when you hear the song, the music, and her vocals. I mean, no one else sounded like her. So, just another unfortunate artist that's life ended way too soon because, she could just sing anything and it's magnificent. So that is at number 77, and now at 76.
Come the drums.
Public Enemy, yes, one of the greatest hip hop groups of all time, came out in the late 80s, you know, songs like Bring the Noise, Don't Believe the Hype, 911 is a Joke. Of course, you know, you have to have, Can't Trust It was a great song. It's hard to pick a favorite record because Fear of a Black Planet was so good. But then, you know, songs like Can't Trust It, which was on Apocalypse 91, that was kind of my connection to the band. That was when I was in my coming of age years, I guess you would say. But then, you know, they're still out there doing their thing. Chuck D holding the reins. I think they just came out with a new record last year. He's doing stuff as Prophets of Rage. The He Got Game soundtrack was also great in the late 90s. So, just one of the most influential rap bands ever. And, I'm glad that they're on the list. So guys, let me know what you're thinking of the list so far. Let me know in the comments below. Has anyone on this episode been on your votes? Would love to hear how you're liking it so far. How's it turning out? I love the feedback, guys, and we're getting up there. We got 75 and beyond from here, so it's just on the up and up. I'm psyched to see what happens next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.